Britain and France are looking to join forces and invest in building military drones together. The two governments are expected to sign an agreement that will pave the way for 2 years of joint research into building the unmanned planes. Well, for some analysis on this, we can cross live to Mike Reddy. He's an activist with anti-war group Democracy Village. Mike, a Downing Street source told the Independent newspaper that drones are an essential piece of equipment for the military. Well, they are, aren't they?
If the military is all about killing civilians, then I guess they are. But the real essence of drone technology today is really just to carry on gifting subsidies to the industrial military complex. The likes of BAE, the likes of Rolls-Royce, Thales UK, these are all the companies that are going to benefit from this joint drone program. And in fact, it's probably not going to be just with the French. I think the British are talking to the Italians and the Swedes and who knows who else. But the program is likely to continue. The Reaper drones from Afghanistan are likely to be redeployed into Africa, again to assist the French, maybe in Mali, Central African Republic, and possibly even back into Libya to quell the pro-Gaddafi Green uprising that's happening there in the south of the country.
But drones don't just kill civilians. I mean, the whole point of this move by the British and French is to build their own drones to make their own countries safe, as well as obviously to use in any overseas campaign where they're deemed necessary.
This is the problem with the politics of drone warfare, though. It becomes very easy to sell a war based on drones to the domestic audience because there's no soldiers, there's no airmen, there's no pilots putting their lives at risk. This makes drone warfare fairly acceptable to most countries. It's fairly popular in the US, again for the reasons I've mentioned. It's becoming popular in the UK because we don't have boots on the ground, we don't have soldiers losing their lives. But what's to stop China and Russia and other states taking part in drone warfare? Effectively, if you use drones in another country, you've invaded a sovereign state. You've violated the sovereignty of that foreign country. That's against the law. That's a breach of international law right there. It seems to me that the current agreement that's going to be signed tomorrow, the French and the British, at the moment, they kind of make strange bedfellows because we have a socialist government in France, we have a far-right Tory government in the UK. They differ very much on economic policy, and there's been a political spat about that. In fact, this conference tomorrow, this summit tomorrow, was originally going to be held in Blenheim Palace. Now, this just highlights the diplomatic insensitivity of the British. Blenheim Palace was named after a famous battle in the 18th century when the British slaughtered 30,000 French soldiers. It was moved at the last minute over to Brize Norton just to avoid this embarrassment. But just the idea of that plan going ahead was just incredible. So I think that the long-term goal, certainly the next 10, 15 years, is to continue the drone program. It's going to escalate and it's going to reach parts of Africa that we haven't been to thus far. And
this is something, obviously, that you've been mentioning a lot, the fact that civilians do die in drone attacks, and the US has been staunchly criticised for causing many civilian drone attacks in Afghanistan and other countries. But surely cutting-edge design now, we're talking about a project which is going to go over the next 2 years or so, will reduce that risk. Won't drones become far more effective and accurate in the future?
I don't really see this happening, to be honest, Bill, because, I mean, the CIA drone program, which is pretty reckless, and that has the most civilian casualties associated with it. But the CIA are getting most of their intelligence from Pakistan, places like Somalia, countries like Afghanistan. All of their intelligence is coming from the NSA and GCHQ. So they're basing their missile strikes on intelligence that's not even being gathered on the ground. It's been gathered thousands of miles away. So that, for one, that's not going to be very accurate. In terms of the collateral damage, yes, we have missiles that do kill those in the surrounding area, and I don't think that even the British military take much care. If they need to take out what they consider an insurgent, if there's in a crowd of people, I think they carry on and do it anyway. Certainly the CIA drone attacks have been known to do that. But even when there's only one person in the vicinity, we've managed to kill that person, and it's turned out later that they've been civilians. There's court cases going on in the UK at the moment brought by Afghan civilians because their family members were killed while farming. We also have drone pilots that have gone on the record and have said that from their images they can't tell if someone's carrying a gun or a spade. So I mean, the advice to the Afghan population would be stop gardening, stop digging crops in the field, because There's drones above your head,
All right.
They can't distinguish what you're carrying.
OK, Mike, thanks very much indeed. Mike Ruddy, live there in London.
Okay,
thanks for your
Phil.
thoughts on this.